Hey guys, it's Michael from EAKCrewProductions, and before we get into this deck profile, let me just preference this with something where I'm going to show you a Fire King build, and I'm not saying that this is the best Fire King build, because honestly, the version with like 2 bear, 2 tanky is probably better than this version, but I've been using this version for a little bit now. I'm 15-2 with it, so I'd like to think that it's at least somewhat competitive. I don't know how it is after the side because I've only been playing singles, which is really something bad, but I just wanted to test the deck's main front ability first anyways, so let's get into the deck though. 3 Barong. Barong's such a good card. It's a pretty big monster, so it can act as a beat stick, but beyond that, it's what allows you to search for your Fire King cards, really your Circle of the Fire Kings and your Onslaught of the Fire Kings. Alright, I run 2 Kirin. This card's not very good, and honestly, Yaksha would replace it. But I think in this build, it can become less of a mediocre card and an okay card. I don't really use it to attack, even though if the field is open, I'll go for it. But I mostly set this monster because when it's destroyed, it sends 1 Fire King to the graveyard, or 1 fire monster from your deck to the graveyard, which really lets it pair beautifully with cards like Rekindling and Call of the Haunted. So I'll usually either send a Garunix to the graveyard so that I can Call of the Haunted it, or I'll send like a Fire Dog or a Barong so that I can get a Rekindling play off. Then I only run 2 Fire King High Avatar Garunix. Right now without Yaksha, this card clogs in your hand, so I run it at 2 only. Even at 2, I have opened probably 50% of my game, so I'm just unlucky in the sense with this card in my hand. So kind of annoying, kind of a dead card. But it's so good that you can't not run it at least 2. If you run it at 1, then it's completely dead if you draw it, so you gotta have it at 2. 3 Flamevell Fire Dogs. Phenomenal card in the deck. MVP. Helps you win so much. This card's got 1900 beat attack, so it's a giant beat stick. It also special summons out your Barong or your Hazy Flame Cerberus when it destroys a monster and sends it to the graveyard. And that's really why this card is so good. Alright, so we have 3 Cerberus. This card is okay in the deck. It's not the best, but I run this. This is pretty much what would get replaced with Bear, is these 3 cards and then something random for the 2 bears and the Tenki. But I run this version right now because this card is a floater, because when it is destroyed, it searches for another one and puts it in your hand, which I really like because I like to have hand advantage. Plus, it helps thin the deck so that you can get your motor running. It's a 2000 beat stick if you special summon it through Onslaught, and then when it dies, it actually does something. You know, search for the other one from the Onslaught. And it's got 200 defense, so you can bring it back with Rekindling, which I think is probably one of the main reasons why I decided to run it over the Bears, so that I can go into Hazy Flame Basilitrus extremely easy. Alright, 3 Circle of the Fire Kings. This card is MVP of the spells and traps. I would probably, well, it's a tie between Rekindling and Fire Kings. Circle. This card is just too good. It allows you to go for game extremely easy. You attack with a Fire Dog, destroy their monster, get a Barong, get a Cerberus, attack, and then destroy like your Barong or your Cerberus to special summon out your Garunix and attack. Or you can even attack with your Garunix, boom, destroy, special summon. You see how this goes. And it also helps start your looping, because this card will destroy your Garunix. Like you summon it through an Onslaught maybe, and they go bottomless. You go chain, circle, special summon, I don't know, like your Fire Dog. Maybe your Fire Dog can beat over the monster they have on the field anyways. And then now you have this card coming back next turn, and you have a Fire Dog play. Or I think the better play there would be to fetch the Barong. Maybe the Barong can beat over, maybe it can't. If it can't, that's fine. Just end turn. This card will come back on the standby phase, destroying your Barong and destroying their monster. But then on the next standby phase, you get to add another 5 Kings to your hand. So, very good. Darkhold, of course. You'll notice I'm playing no Reborn. And honestly, it was a mistake I didn't mean to not run Reborn, but I've actually like never needed it. So I would definitely add Reborn to your build, but I just think it's funny that I've never actually had to use Reborn, and I think it's because I have 3 Rekindling in the deck, to tell you the truth. Uh, 2 Forbidden Lance. This card is so good, helps your Fire Dog plays out immensely, and it protects the big birdie from Bottomless and Deep Prison. We've got the Heavy Storm and the 2 MSTs, great stuff. 2 Onslaught, I think at 3 it's cloggy, especially since I only have 2 Garuniks, and although this can special summon out the other fire monsters as well, I don't see Cyber Dragon plays being too much. I mean, like, I wouldn't run 3 Cyber Dragons. So, 3 Rekindling, this card is too nuts. I've won so many games. You draw this late game, and it's just like, oh, special summon 5 monsters to the field, attack over, attack over you, and go into like Gaga Cowboys and win for sure. 2 Bottomless Trample. God, this card hurts this one, but it's only happened to me, I think, once in all the times I've played. It was painful though. Bottomless Trample is just too good this format. It stops everything. 3 Call of Hunted, phenomenal in this deck because of the Kieran plays, and because if they MST and you have a Barong or Garunix in your graveyard, I guess even a Cerberus, you flip the Call of the Hunted, grab one of these guys, and then it gets destroyed, and you get one of their effects. So you're either searching for a Fire King card, you're coming back next standby phase to blow everything up on the field, or you're adding another Cerberus to your hand. So really good. 2 Phoenix Chain, this card is just too good this format. Negating effects is crucial. I run 1 Karma Cut. It's just a little tech of the deck. If you don't know what it does, discard 1 card to remove from play 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, then remove from play any cards in your opponent's graveyard with the same name as that monster. It's just a card that's pretty good this format because it's banishing monsters that are in the graveyard. It can get rid of your opponent's Moon Glacier plays, I guess. It can get rid of Dark Worlds from the graveyard. A whole bunch of different stuff. But the card itself is also ran in this build just because of the fact that I can't get rid of Garunix from my hand once I got it in there, so Karma Cut pitches it to the grave for me. And this deck can really net some pluses, so it doesn't hurt even if you're not going to discard the Garunix. Mirror Force, card is so good. The Solemn Twins, very great cards, you need them in your deck. If you're not playing them, I think maybe when Warning was at 2, you didn't need to play Judgment, but now that Warning's at 1, Judgment's kind of like, I think, if you're going to be competitive, you should be running it. Unless you're playing something like Chaos Dragons or Lightsworn, then you don't need to. 2 Torrential Tribute. This card is absolutely nuts in this deck. It sets off all your plays, and it destroys their field as well. Extra deck I'm not really going to get into, but except for like the tech choices like Bouncer and Basilitrice, you can get them out with the Cerberus, even though I've only done it like once. But when you do get them out, it's pretty decent. Shockmaster, actually very easy to get in this deck because you can do the Rekindling plays. But half of the time, I'd rather just like attack with all my monsters than go into 2 Gagagas and win. Roach. A lot of people haven't seen that card in a while, but you just make a lot of 4s in this deck, so I put in the Roach. And I've actually played, I think, 3 Chaos Dragons, and Roach has won me the game like every single time. So this card is good. And of course, you can play it against agents too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is your main man, Michael from EAKCrewProductions. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck video. Go ahead and take some ideas from it. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.